Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the first ever Q&A session with Grandpa's Best. I'm Matt.
I'm Erin.
And we are going to do the first installment of our bi-weekly video series where we will be answering all of your questions. So please remember to submit questions. We'll be happy to answer them. In the meantime, for this first video, we thought we would just take our two most frequently asked questions that we receive and then wait for your submissions to come in after this. So, Erin, without further ado, what is the most common question that we get at Grandpa's Best?
So I think the most common question that we get repeatedly is, what's the difference between our small bales, our mini bales, and our loose hay?
Yes, and that is it is a question we get a lot. That's a great question. So, to explain the difference, I'd like to go back into the history of Grandpa's Best a little bit. When we started thinking about how to supply hay to the small pet market, one thing that we heard consistently as we traveled the country asking pet owners what they wanted hay that was consistent quality and a more convenient package. We took that idea, we created the mini bale. The mini bale is lightly compressed hay put into a convenient package for the customer, and it covered a lot of things that people were having issues with. It stores easy, it's very easy to move around, it doesn't take up much space. However, we do alter the hay a little bit when we're doing that compression. We get some shorter pieces. It's just a little bit different from what comes directly out of the field. After listening to customers, we had plenty that wanted a different option, so we went with the loose box. The loose box is hay in its truest form. Comes right off the bale, goes into the box. The thing we give up here takes up a lot more space. There are typically a little bit higher amounts of maybe shorter pieces or dust that we can't pull out because, again, we're just taking it off the bale and putting it in the box. But you do end up with a lot of long strands. It's hay in its purest form. Erin, you think that covers
I think it
the
does.
difference?
I think the biggest concern customers had, and one particular that I answered, was somebody said, well, I don't have room for an entire hay bale. And so I had to explain that no, this is what we consider our mini bale. We take the hay, we don't chop it, but we take the hay and we reform it into a true mini bale.
Yes, and something we love about the mini bale is it represents what a bale out of the field looks like. A bale out of the field is made of different hay flakes that baler pushes together, ties together. That's exactly what we're doing with the mini bale. We're just taking flakes on a smaller scale, bundling them together, and we end up with the mini bale. So I think our second most asked question is, how important is variety to my pet and hay choice? Is variety important at all? Why does it matter?
Well, something you want to talk about is what life stage is your pet in, because you'll have plenty of pets that only prefer one type of hay and that's all they want. They won't touch anything else, and that's fine. If that's what they prefer, that's what they prefer. That's great. But if you look at life stages, you might have maybe a rabbit or a guinea pig that is still growing, that is only a couple months old, and is starting to need some of that extra calcium that it's no longer getting from its mother. Or maybe you have a nursing doe that's raising a litter of kits, and they're putting out a lot of calcium to support those babies, and you need to replace it. Our alfalfa is a great option for that. It's higher in calcium, it's higher in protein, and it meets those growing needs. Our other varieties, Timothy, Orchard, Prairie Grass, they meet different needs. They're great fillers. They keep them constantly chewing, which is great for their digestion and their teeth, because true herbivores, their teeth are constantly growing. Rabbits, they always need to have something to chew to wear those teeth down. The hay provides this. Giving them variety makes sure that they stay interested in the hay and that they're constantly wanting it.
Yep, and that's my biggest takeaway when it comes to variety. The most important thing we can do is make sure that these animals are getting the fiber that they need and chewing to wear on that teeth. So the most important thing is first to find the hay that they prefer. Every animal is a little bit different. All of us are a little bit different. So we've got to find the hay that's got the right nutrition that they prefer. That way they are constantly eating. And again, Erin touched on it. Variety is huge because it can keep them interested.
Yeah.
It just, you know what? I don't want to eat the same meal every day of my life. I'm sure they're the same. I like some variety, and it just makes sense, right? We're increasing their appetite for that fiber by keeping them interested and
But you're
checking out the
also,
different varieties.
by giving them different varieties, you're increasing their foraging activity, and that's something that's super important just to their genetic makeup. They want to sniff out and search for their food because, you know, if they came from the wild, that was something that they would naturally be doing. They would be searching out that food, you know, giving them a different type of hay. They can check it out. They can dig in there. They can see what's in there, what pieces they like.
It's very instinctual. It does. It allows them to do the foraging, which again is an instinctual genetic trait, and it's important to allow them to explore that. And variety is a great way to do that. So hopefully, if you guys had that question, we answered it today. If not, submit any questions you have. We'll be taking a couple every other week. We'll answer them as they come, and we look forward to continuing this. But please submit your questions anytime. And if it's a question that you need answered, we'll answer it before the video comes out. Do not worry. But we will address it in videos.
Yeah, if you want to call us, you have a question about your rabbit or what they need to eat, or you know, about our hay specifically, just give us a call, or you can drop a message at the bottom of the video.
Social media, send us an email, any way will work. Just get a hold of us, we'll answer it, and then we'll collect these and we'll answer it for anybody else who might have the question.
And we look forward to answering these questions for you. And you know, doing these videos are kind of fun, and we get to, you know, reach out to the customer and see what they're actually thinking, what kind of questions they have, and what they need to know.